Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Sam's Crafty Castle, and today we are having a little bit of fun. This video was supposed to go up last week, but I just didn't quite get it together to get it done. So I usually don't do a lot of Halloween cards, but I like to send them to like the little kids in my life. And I had cards made and realized I was one short, so um ended up buying this stamp set from Gina K Designs because I had my eye on it, but didn't think I was doing fall cards this year. Or thought I had enough, I should say. So didn't think I was gonna get it, but then when I realized I needed one more, I took the opportunity and I bought it. So this is the Autumn Bear stamp set from Gina K Designs, and it's so cute. She's recently brought on a new illustrator artist for some of her stamp sets, and they've been making these really cute little like bears and critters and stuff, and I really like them. So um, these are just some autumn bears with little pumpkins. So the one thing that's kind of fun about this set is it's not super Halloweeny. It's not super. Um, it's more of a fall theme, but depending on how you color them, you can make it for Halloween if you want to. So I decided to color my little bear here gray just because that's what I was in the mood for. And I have a funny story. I cut it out of the video, but I have kind of a funny story to tell about the coloring in this little bear. So I have a set of warm grays that I really, really like to use for coloring bears, mice, animals in. I was just in the mood for a gray bear rather than a brown one. So we went with gray. And I, one of the colors in my little favorite warm gray color trio, if you will, which is 3, 4, and 5. So W, 3, 4, and 5 is usually what I like to use. Um, you don't get as much variation because you were gonna do it the to get more of a color variation. You want to do 2, 4, and 6, but 6 is always too dark for me, and 2 is always a little bit too light. So I end up just going 3, 3, 4, 5 usually. Um, and my W4 marker has been out of ink forever, and I keep forgetting to order refills for it whenever I order things. And I still pick it up constantly and try to use it and then get annoyed when I realize that it's empty. Um, and then this time, so then usually when I don't have that one, I'll like back it up a step. So 3 becomes my middle color, and then I'll grab like 2, 3, 5 or something like that. And it still works just fine. It just looks a little different. Well, I went to start doing my shadows with my W5 marker, and that was also empty. And I was like, oh, cool, awesome. So I ended up having to like do some weird stuff, and you can kind of tell. Um, my shadows are a little bit wonky because I ended up going up. I think I went up to a 6, and I ended up doing like 6, 3, and 2. So there's such a big jump between 6 and 3 that like my shadows are a little bit wonky. But you can also see in a minute, maybe, if I move my hand back into frame the right way. But then I was trying to like figure it out and figure out the new colors and see if they were gonna work and look the way I wanted them to. And I test there it is on my hand. Um, I instead of being normal and pulling out a piece of paper, I just tested the markers on my hand because that's the smart thing to do. And it's not really because obviously like your skin isn't white like a piece of paper, so the colors look a little bit different. But I was just trying to test if the markers worked because now I trusted none of them after having 2 that were um, empty. So I was trying to make sure the other markers I was trying to use actually would work and were not empty. And so I just took them and drew them on my skin, and I was like, oh, they'll wash off. Yeah, no, they didn't. It took like a week to stop having little gray lines on my hand. Um, Now that is a big deal. I just thought it was funny. So, and I wanted to explain it because you will see them throughout this video, and I think I think they were gone by the time I filmed the next video, but you will see them throughout this video, the little gray lines on my hand, and I just wanted you to know what they were. It was just me testing markers because I was too lazy to grab a scrap piece of paper and do it the way I should have. The other thing I would change about this coloring, I have a couple more things to say about it, but one other thing, because I'm looking at it right now, is I would have picked a darker pink for her cheeks and her feet. I might not even have done her feet in pink. I may have done her feet in like the light gray color that I was using. That maybe would have been, excuse me, that maybe would have been a little bit more of, I think I would have liked that a little bit more, I guess. And then the pink on her cheeks barely shows up because of how dark my shadow ended up. So, um, yeah, that's just the way that goes. Anyway, I also decided for fun, since this was a Halloween card and I could use some bright fun colors on it, I decided to bust out my neon Copic markers, which I never use. Um, so I got my orange, purple, and green in my neons, and that was really fun to get to play with them because I don't play with them often because nothing really like blends with them. They're very like standalone colors, and I didn't have a ton of time to make this card. So, although then I did this, which is a 24-hour thing, so I don't know, but what I was thinking there. But it was just fun to play with the neon colors because I don't get to do that very often. So this, I wanted to do. I had my card layout in mind, or I should say, I had the sketch pulled up on Pinterest, and I was trying to figure out what. There's like this little thing, little panel, I guess, and I wanted to do something. And in my brain, I was like, do I stencil? Because I've already got this polka dot pattern paper, as you can see right there. And you'll get this. I'm gonna start laying everything out, so you'll be able to really see like kind of what I'm trying to get at now. So I had this orange pattern paper. I didn't want to use that again because that was gonna be too clunky or too much. Um, I had the kind of the purple is that line between a solid and a pattern paper, and I wanted something else, and I wanted something because the little girl, the little bear, is so like more fall and Halloween. Other than the fact that like I colored her with like the purple and green and orange kind of thing going on, I wanted to do something to make it more sort of Halloweeny, which arguably what I did doesn't help that much, but um I decided to use my deco foil gel because I wanted to do a foil thing, and thought I had some like pumpkin toner sheets, but I don't, or foil mates, whatever you want to call them, and I don't have them. So I was like, okay, well, so I got out the deco foil gel and used the stencil that I knew I had. So it did some pumpkins and let that sit for. I let mine sit overnight. You only have to let it sit for about an hour, usually, but I let mine sit overnight because this putting the rest of this together did not take long. Um, I also had white for her to go on. Decided I didn't like it because I had the white in the background, with the orange polka dots, and thought I would use white, but I didn't like it. So I just took some sweet mango ink, kind of around the edges, really, really lightly though, and gave it some color. It made it look better. She stands out a little bit better. I didn't like how bright the white was, but the ivory I had was a little bit too yellow. So, we made it work. That's the fun with ink. If you have white paper and ink, you can have whatever color paper you want. Um, it's always a good thing to remember because sometimes you run out of a color, and as long as you have an ink that's the same color that you want it to be, you're golden. Just get out your brushes and ink blend some, and you'll be good to go. The other thing I did that I thought was kind of fun on this card was this Hey Pumpkin. I stamped it in orange, and I mean, I was gonna go black because that's what I usually do for my sentiments. But then I thought about it and was like, no, let's have some fun and go orange. I also stamped it in this. So that is, I think, the Tangerine Twist is what I used first from Gina K. This is her Electro Pop orange. I think it's called Orange Glow if I'm remembering correctly. And because I thought maybe I'd want to go with like continue with the neon theme. I ended up not liking the Electropop, and I didn't clean my stamp very well the last time I used it when I stamped it in black. And the Electropop actually pulled some of the black ink off of the stamp, which is funny because I stamped the Electropop second, so I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought the black was just like stuck on there, but it pulled it off. So it got kind of dirty looking, like the black mix in with the orange. But I actually still kind of liked it. So I still cut it out and I kept it because I feel like on a different card it could be really cool looking. Um, but it wasn't the right vibes for this one. So this is kind of what we're going for. And then now we're gonna foil our transfer gel sheet. So the other thing to note, if you look at the transfer gel on the paper there, it's a little bit orangey. This was the other thing I discovered. Apparently, I don't have the regular plain orange foil. I only have the sparkly stuff, which is fine. The glitter, I think I forget what the name of it is now. It'll be linked in the description below. But I only have the sparkly orange and not the regular orange. So I was like, well, okay, I guess we're getting sparkly orange. That's cool. Um, so which is fine. It worked out, and it's for a card for a little girl. So I don't know which little girl ended up getting this card. I think it went to the 2-year-old. So well, she's not quite 2 yet, but she will be by the time. Well, yeah, she was almost 2. I think it went to her. So she like what little girl doesn't like sparkles, right? Like, so we're good. So we're good with the sparkly orange. But all I had to do is foil it like normal. After doing the transfer gel and letting it dry. That transfer gel really opens up your foiling opportunities because when you don't have a poly glaze or foil mate sheet or toner or whatever that matches what you want, it's really easy to grab a stencil and get what you want. And I love how this came out. It came out so good. I did keep the negative piece because I do kind of want to do something with it. I just couldn't decide if I wanted to do white poly glaze, black toner sheets, or if I want I have the some of the color toner panels from Pink and Main, and I just couldn't decide what color I wanted to do because obviously the pumpkins would be the color in that case, or if I wanted to do a poly glaze so I could like double foil it. So I hadn't decided what I wanted to do and didn't want to take the time to try to figure it out. In that space. So we're just finishing up here. This is the end of this card basically. We're just gonna put everything together. I'm trying to think if I haven't given really like any updates or anything this video, so I'm just like running through my brain trying to make sure there's like nothing weird I need to tell you about. I guess heads up warning because you're seeing this the first week in November. So this is the last month of videos for. That's crazy. This is the last month of videos for 2024. Wow, that's crazy to say out loud. I literally just figured that out right now because I was just thinking about the fact that this video was going up in November. That's insane. Okay. Excuse me. So I was sick last part of like a week ago, which is part of why this video took so long to get out because I just didn't feel good. So, still getting over that a little bit. Cough still likes to creep up on me every now and again. So, anyway, this is November's the last month of videos for 2024. I will be off for December, just because things get so crazy with the holidays and stuff. Although that's a lot shorter this year because Thanksgiving's so late. But I have a small blooper video that I may post like New Year's Eve in December, but other than that, we're off after this month. So there's only like 3 or 4 more videos left in this year, and then that's it for 2024. That's crazy. I've said that like 10,000 times. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's really all I have for updates. And then I decided to pop up so I put everything down and then decided that the grading was getting a little bit lost. So I ended up deciding to pop that up because I was debating popping up my little bear panel, like that whole thing, but I didn't like that. So then I just popped up the grading to make it stand out a little bit more, and it came out super cute. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I'll see you again soon, and have a crafty day.